speaking of the 49ers, we went. I mean, I've been to plenty of 49ers games, but Covino came with me, and we went with a bunch of our buddies. Every year we do a different football trip, and we went to the Bay Area a couple years. It was a couple years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to go see a 49ers game. It happened to be Brock Purdy's first game.
Yeah.
When Jimmy G got hurt.
Yeah, we were there for that.
And
I was eating churros.
I remember. And listen, there's no party foul. Covino just was not shy about people saying, yo, come to my tailgate. We were eating and drinking. And I tell you, in this parking lot at Levi Stadium, would you say, Covino, we saw at least 3 different like mixed DJs set up?
Yeah.
People with microphones
Fun vibe.
rapping.
Yeah, turntables.
We see turntables were out. People had their trailers with every game for the early games
I've
on.
never tailgated, at a San Francisco 49ers game before. It was great. Great scene, great vibe. Again, we're from the East Coast, so I've been to Jets and Giants and things like that, but never 49ers. Great time.
But should we say it in the past tense? Because based on this memo that came out, seems like someone's trying to suck the fun out of this a little bit. Danny G, can you give some of the bullet points of this 49ers memo to season ticket holders?
Yeah, they got emails, and nearly 1,000 Niner season ticket holders have signed a petition with the goal of meeting with the Niners PR team and front office. They're asking for them to discuss tailgating rules and concerns because they're raising hell over this. One Niner season ticket holder is quoted in this Channel 2 Bay Area story saying they're splitting up tailgates like they're splitting up a family. Huh? What's going on? They're saying no more loud music in the parking lot. That's going to be enforced.
No more loud music at the tailgate.
Season.
Okay.
Man, it's not a tailgate then.
Well, let me guess. No cornhole?
They're saying
no drinking?
Besides the loud music thing, which is ridiculous, they're calling it directed parking. So think about when you go to an amusement park or a concert and everybody just falls in line to the next available space. That's what they're saying they're going to do now for tailgating.
There's people.
You get assigned tailgating passes or something like that, right?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. It's like a very structured, there's all these rules now sort of thing going on.
This season ticket holder says we pay $3,000 per seat, and this guy says I have 3 of them. It's like, how can I not park next to my friend? That's why we get there early to tailgate together, and so that's why everybody's raising a ruckus right now because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's part of the culture of the tailgate. Get there early, set up shop, and they're trying to stop that from happening. No music.
It used to be first come, first serve. You go to the part of the parking lot where your friends and family are. That's the way it always should be.
This reminds me of an old episode of Cheers. And I'm not a big Cheers guy. I was a little young for that show. But do you ever see that scene where someone's sitting at Norm's bar stool?
Yeah.
And he looks like he's going to have a heart attack. And doesn't he like fake illness and like, oh my God. And then he takes his chair back. The person's like, nah, I'm sitting here. No, but that's Norm's bar stool. How can you do a tailgate? Covino, again, you and I are not guys that are tailgating every week, but people that are part of that culture in college football and NFL football, it could be decades and generations where people hang their flags and their trucks and their vans next to each other. It really is such a part of the culture. To disrupt this would be borderline evil.
Yeah, you got to respect the tailgate here. By the way, speaking of George Wendt, right? Norm from Cheers. You know who his nephew is? This isn't a joke. It's a real fun fact. His nephew. His real-life nephew. Someone you admire a lot.
Carson Wentz.
No.
Oh, no, Wentz.
Got it.
George, someone I admire a bunch.
Actor.
Ryan
comedian.
Reynolds. Oh, no.
Coach.
Bill Burr.
No.
Oh, Coach VJ Husky.
No. Your hero, Jason Sudeikis.
So really?
Yeah, that's his nephew.
Get out of here.
I can see a little resemblance.
Right? Now that I say it, something like that. Yes, his nephew or cousin
Ted
or whatever.
Lasso coming back season 4, whether you like it or not.
You know, I know it's a multi-billion-dollar business, but Rich, what you just said a couple of minutes ago, you're so right. This is where we need to keep things from turning completely corporate. With brand new stadiums comes a lot of corporate junk.
Yeah.
And I get that part of it, but we can't let it take over the fan experience.
It's like every time a new stadium is built, sometimes that super fan that isn't part of the organization, cowbell guy at Citi Field, Remember the old guy, rest in peace, Freddie Says with the spoon at Yankee Stadium? Or,
of course, legend.
Who's the guy at Chicago for the Cubs games? There's a famous Cubs fan. Like a Clipper Darrell type.
Oh, man.
But remember...
Steve Bartman? I don't know, man. Who? I don't know.
Look up famous Cubs fan. There's a guy. Who is it?
Ronnie Woo Woo.
Oh,
yeah, that is it. I know Ronnie Woo. Yeah.
But there are times where if new ownership or a new stadium happens, they almost tell those super fans sometimes, like, yeah, this doesn't include you.
Yeah, that's
and I always
up.
thought that was whack. Same with this, and the Niners have been at Levi now for a good 5 to 10 years, right? I mean, it's been a minute.
They're also changing something that is part of the culture, what the fans like about it, the party atmosphere. You're again putting corporate rules, like you said, into something organic and fun, and people don't like that, dude. It's also, I'm not trying to tie the two stories together, but it's sort of the outrage that some people are having about like Southwest Airlines and their assigned seating. People like to just park where they want to park. People like to sit where they want to sit. Assigned seating at Southwest is no longer. Now they're going to assign seats for you. Someone must have ruined the fun there. Something must have happened. I don't know, but there's certain things that go along with the tailgate that just should be left alone. Yeah. I don't think other fan bases would deal with this. Do you think Buffalo fans would deal with this?
Imagine they said to Buffalo Bills fans,
no
like,
way.
Cut back on the drinking, no tables, no fire.
That's part of what they do.
We talked about the Oakland Coliseum for a second last hour. That was the main attraction, was the tailgate parties. I mean, just because obviously, except for a few glorious Gruden years, there wasn't a lot to cheer about on the field. But we always knew that the party in the parking lot in Oakland, California was going to be amazing, and it always was. And so part of what was lost with Raider Nation moving to Las Vegas was there's very limited space there for tailgating. And it's the same type of assigned thing. There's corporations there. There's this row of businesses that are lined up right now outside of the Vegas Stadium at Allegiant there. It's a completely different vibe. It got turned on its head.
You know what I realized when we tailgated in Denver, Rich, this past season? The importance of a koozie, which means, Danny G, we need some CNR koozies, like stat, for these tailgates.
Yeah.
Because I never got like that culture, because people who live the koozie life like really love their koozies and talk about their koozies and
have
collect
a collection.
Koozies. Yeah, exactly. Like my girlfriend's dad has drawers full of koozies. But when you're partying in this cold weather, sometimes you need that.
Hot weather, cold weather, keep your drink.
Yeah.
Keep your drink.
I never got it, but my point is, it's just part of the culture, man. Pick your spot, like Danny G said. Park next to your friend. Bust out your koozies. Now you're putting all these rules on it. You're ruining it. Assigned parking.
Yeah, don't
you're
stripping
out
character.
the fun.
You're stripping the character. And
you are.
That's such a big part of football. And that, you're right, Danny. That's a very big lapse of judgment as far as taking away something that's so important to the fans. Like it might not mean anything to the corporate side of the 49ers team. Why would it? But when you're diehard season ticket holders, have a routine, have a tradition. Hey, we make this big vat of chili by gate 2 every Sunday. I'm sorry, sir, this week you're going to be at gate 3. Like,
these are your hardcore fans. These are the fans that set the atmosphere, too, right? So they're the tone setters.
They're almost like free party providers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole point of them getting there early. So the whole thing doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, like you're going to tell me something crazy drastic happened, and to my knowledge, I don't remember anything like that happening.
No, let's be honest. Part of it is greed, because some stadiums, there's some baseball stadiums that do this where they don't let you drink out in the parking lot prior to the game, and the reason why, they want to push everybody in to buy the $30 beer inside the stadium.
But you can also make money off of selling permits for like parking spots. You can charge money for. You can accrue money and revenue from tailgating.
The NFL doesn't make enough money.
No, but the season ticket holders are saying, I pay $3,000 per seat. That the tailgate experience comes with that money I already pay.
I'm not asking you for burgers, sausages, beers. I'm bringing it. I just want to be able to go where I go.
And how about this? I mean, some people would argue that they have more fun at the tailgate than at the actual game.
There are people that don't even. There are people that don't even go into the game.
They don't even go inside. It's a lifestyle.
Don't charge me more when you're already price gouging me for the seats that I'm going to go in, unless I stay. But I still have seats inside the stadium that are overpriced.
I think it's a disrespect to it sounds crazy, but it is. It's a disrespect to the tailgate culture. And it's almost like, you got to respect the tailgate. These are your fans. This is the foundation of your organization. It really is. Me going to the stadium with you, Rich, that was they're my first impression of what this team's about.
You go to a new stadium, you're right. That you walk, you roll up
they're
on the stadium
committee.
Let me tell you, imagine if Green Bay was like, yeah, for safety reasons, we're no longer doing the Lambeau leap.
I don't want to go party there anymore. Like, this is a boring stadium.
Danny, let me ask you, based on I guess you would say the term would be grandfathered in. A lot of those dudes in the black hole still get their seats in Vegas or no?
Not at first. And then there was all this pushback from Raider Nation saying, how are you not going to let the gorilla dude and violator
the
and
guy
all
that
this,
has spiked shoulder pads and face paint. You're going to tell that guy, sorry, not anymore?
Allegiant Stadium was so corporate at first that they weren't even going to give the tickets to those faces of the fan base, and after some pressure, they finally caved in, and those fans can now be seen there.
Rich said it. That's how your team loses its identity and its character.
I'll be honest, Covino roots for the most storied team in Major League Baseball history. As a Mets fan, I used to be jealous going to Yankee Stadium and being like, man, Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle and now Jeter, and God, I hate the Yankees. They're so good.
Yeah, that's how traditions are formed.
When they said, we're building a new stadium. Major mistake. Yankees lost something. They lost part of their vibe and character with that new stadium. And Covino, as a Yankee fan, would back me up. Yeah. City Field where the Mets play, nicer than Yankee Stadium.
It is. Nice ballpark versus like Coliseum vibe.
Yeah.
It's the character you lose when you go too corporate.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Respect the tailgate.
The only cool thing about the new Yankee Stadium is if you get the hookup through like a client or sponsor, behind home plate, that VIP area has milkshakes and a seafood bar that are included.
If you're lucky enough to get that.
So you could get some crab meat, some lobster.
Milkshakes and seafood?
They're both included, I believe.
That sounds kind of gross together.
No, but I'm saying like no. When you're picking out, Sam, you'll eat anything.
How about a seafood milkshake?
Oh!